Oh. Hey everybody, this is Ronin Dave. I'm just enjoying a bit of sumo at Kokugikan in Ryogoku. I know what you're thinking, it's been a while. I think 4 months since my last video. But despite my absence, I have been quite busy. I had a number of people though contact me both online and real life, wonder if I just gave up on YouTube, or worse, that something bad had happened to me. Ironically, my last video happened to be one on zombies in Tokyo, so some people thought perhaps I'd been bitten by one of them and joined the ranks of the undead. But I'm glad to say that the reports of my zombification have been greatly exaggerated, if not outright fabricated by me. Anyway, what it turned out it was my Mac shorted out on me back in May, and I just got it fixed recently, so now I'm back up and running. So hopefully I'll have some videos of the things I've been up to during that time, and of course well before that time. Between work, living, and drinking, I have kept myself busy during these 4 months, going to many events and festivals around Tokyo and other areas. But instead of me just telling you, how about I show you? So after my encounter with the zombies, I went to Design Festa. Design Festa is an art exhibition that occurs twice a year, where all kinds of artists, musicians, painters, and whatnot gather. It's always a good time, and you see a lot of interesting, weird stuff. A few days after that, I went to a type of Buddhist religious festival in the Nara prefecture, where the participants wore these golden Buddhist masks. And then after that, I went to the Aoi Matsuri, which is in Kyoto. That festival goes back well over 1,400 years. I think this was like my third, maybe fourth time to go to that festival. Then I was back in Tokyo. I went north of Tokyo to Nikko to see Yabusame, which is Japanese horseback archery. Fun little Ronin Dave fact. If you ever look at the Wikipedia article on Yabusame, yours truly wrote most of that. However, I don't say that with any pride. I originally wrote that for an online newspaper, and I just copied and pasted straight over to the encyclopedia, into the Wikipedia, and it was very much a journalistic, blogish kind of article, and so later I was kind of embarrassed by it. So I'm glad later editors came through and took out those little bits, especially the little humorous asides. I went back down to Kyoto for another festival, the Mifune Festival, which is a festival that takes place on the waters near Arashiyama. This is a festival that goes back to the Heian period, when emperors would take boats out onto the waters and have dancers dance on other boats while they watched. That was really cool. And while I was in Kyoto at that time, I went to the Costume Museum. It's always a good place to go on a rainy day. And then I went north to Fukuchiyama, the castle there that was once owned briefly by Akechi Mitsuhide. He's quite famous for killing his boss, Oda Nobunaga. I also stumbled into a place that allowed you to do old-time weaving of cloth. After, I don't know, about a week or two later in Tokyo, I went to the Tokyo Decadence Bar, where a German TV presenter was visiting, and he was indulging in Japanese practice of bagel head. Very, Very bizarre. Then, once again, I was back down to Kyoto, this time to Mount Kurama, to see Buddhist monks cutting bamboo with short swords. This is a festival that also goes back over 1,000 years, and the festival is designed to bring good luck and good harvest to the area. Near the end of July, I went to Shikoku, to Uwajima. I went to a festival known as Ushi Oni, which means like cow devil. And there they had bull sumo, where they had bulls pushing against each other just like sumo wrestlers. Except these matches went on for much, much, much longer. After I left Uwajima, I went straight to Osaka, where they're having the Tenjin Matsuri. After the parade, many of the participants got onto boats and floated around the river. Tokyo Decadence had an event in late July, and the theme was animals, both real and fantasy. So I went as a tengu, a long-nosed goblin with wings, and that was pretty fun, and I was always wild and crazy. In August, I went back to Shikoku Island, and this time to Tokushima to see the Awa Odori. Awa Odori is a famous dance from there that's now performed all throughout Japan, but this is where it originated, so I got to see it at the city of its origins. And from there, I went to Kyoto, once again to Kyoto, and there I saw Daimonji, where they light fires on the mountains in kanji shape. This year I saw the Hunagata, which is the boat-shaped one. The following day, I went to a special beer garden near Kitano Tenmangu Shrine. This one was special because while you're drinking, sometimes geisha and maiko, geisha apprentices, would sit down and chat with you. In late August, I went to Yamagata Prefecture, which is in northern Japan, and I went to the small town of Shinjo, where they had a festival called simply the Shinjo Matsuri. The first night they had a night festival where they had floats all lit up. The floats depicted characters from Japanese history and kabuki stories. And the next day, I stayed in Yamagata City, went to a museum or two, and then to a temple that was on a mountain side. It was really pretty. And then the last thing I did up until the sumo event was going to the Fuji Fire Festival in Fuji Yoshida. That was a very exciting and beautiful festival. So anyway, that's why I was absent. Technical problems, not any kind of horrific accident or zombie plague. And so hopefully in the near future you'll be seeing more videos of me. Please tell your friends, spread them around. Right now I've got sumo to watch. So everyone take care. See ya. Cheers.